Hi there. Thanks for visiting GMAT Tutor NYC. I've created this video to help answer some of the most frequently asked questions I get from new students. Hopefully this video sheds some light on what you can expect in the GMAT prep process and whether working with us is right for you. So let's get started. The first big question I get from most students is, what is your process? The first step in my process is to understand you. What schools and score are you targeting? How much prep have you done so far? And how much time do you have to prepare? Once I know these things, I will assess your abilities by giving you a short exam. From there, we will work out a plan based on your skill level, time frame, and aspirations. Because there is so much to study for the GMAT and the question types aren't equally weighted, I push students to focus on the areas with most point potential. Once you have mastered these core areas, I will help you improve on the other ones. A lot of what you study with me will depend on what score you need. If you need over a 700, we will cover every topic in depth and at an advanced level. But let's say you only need a 600, we will only focus on those big point potential areas because those will be enough. Of course, we will only work on the areas you need help with. If you are already good with one topic, we won't waste time on it. So that's the general overview. Now I will get more specific about how that's implemented. After we've discussed and I understand where you're at, we will begin by using my problem sets. I use problem sets because we learn best by doing and by repetition. I will provide you access to my database, where I will generate your curriculum. In there I will give you collections of problem sets to work on. In our sessions, you and I will sit down and work through these problems. Every time you come across a problem you need help with, I will explain it. I will also stop you frequently to show you special shortcuts and techniques to help solve problems faster. Through constant practice, explanation, and repetition, you will quickly learn the concepts. The problem sets I use are not ordinary. I have spent a lot of time and effort building them. They are a collection of specific concepts at particular question levels. For instance, one set might solely have rate problems at the 600 to 700 level. All of my problems are real GMAT problems. But unlike the official guide, I have hundreds of problems segmented by question type and level. This allows me to help my students home in on a particular topic and not waste time. Beyond our time in class, I will give you homework through my database. And periodically, I will give you practice exams to monitor your improvement. Another question I get is, how do I differ from other companies and tutors? Well, firstly, in my approach, I don't waste time on lectures, we just dive right in. Half the battle of the GMAT is getting used to the format. The questions are tricky and there is a specific logic that only the GMAT uses. By working from day one on real GMAT problems you get acclimated faster. Because you will be solely working on real GMAT problems, come exam time, every problem, even if the specifics are different, should feel familiar. Secondly, I have very special techniques and shortcuts. Time is so crucial on the GMAT, every second counts, and you often don't have time to solve everything out completely. My techniques take tough concepts and breaks them down quickly. Using these shortcuts will give you speed and confidence. Some of these techniques are commonly taught, others I personally developed. I have an extensive math and engineering background. The shortcuts I developed draw heavily on those disciplines to simplify the math. Thirdly, I have one of the largest question databanks. At the risk of sounding redundant, the practice problems you use are everything for getting a good score. I have a database full of thousands of real GMAT problems and explanations. As a student of mine, I will give you access to it. You can choose specific question types or question levels. And there is no shortage of problems. All the materials you need to study for the GMAT will be provided. Another frequent question I receive is how long it will take to prepare for the GMAT. Unfortunately, there is no blanket answer. It all depends on you. How much prep have you done? What school are you targeting? How much time are you prepared to input, and how frequently? The general answer is that unless you have already done significant prep, you can expect to spend months studying. How many will depend on your starting point and how much time you allocate to studying. What I can tell you is that of all the students I've worked with, almost all have studied with me for at least 1 month. Most of my students spend anywhere from 2 to 6 months in tutoring. How long are your sessions and how frequently should we meet? All of my sessions are 2 hours. I do this for a few reasons. 1. An hour on its own just isn't enough time, and there is too much material to cover. Second, the GMAT is a long exam. Working in 2-hour increments will not only increase your mental stamina, but will also help you in grad school afterwards when you need to study. The frequency of how often we should meet varies per student. If you are starting from the beginning and need a lot of help, you will probably want to meet 3 to 4 times a week. If you are fairly comfortable with the GMAT but want to boost your score further, 1 to 2 might be better. It all depends on your situation. So that's it for the FAQs. If you have any more questions or want to schedule a session, please reach out.